getting in a call with my devs, and I'm like, oops, sorry, I broke things. Can you help? I wanted to ask, what would be your suggestion for somebody like me who has just like a little bit of understanding of code to explain things to me, but without like copy pasting or the agent writing it for me. Something that basically gives me a grasp, an understanding of maybe a little bit of back end, something a bit more complex with JavaScript, maybe. What would be your suggestion?
Okay. First of all, only work within the confines of Claude.ai or chat.openai.com or whatever. Just work within that environment and create your own testing environment. Tell it that you are learning JavaScript. You want to build a simple project and you want to slowly build it step by step, but you don't just want it to give you the code. You want it to explain what it's doing and create your environment that you want to learn. Also, tell it to give you tests. Like, what happens when you console log this? What do you expect to happen? Like, tell it to give you a test after every module or something. What do you reckon?
That sounds good. For the project, should it be something like, I know like the very typical one is a to-do app that everybody does. I thought maybe something like with login. Would it be too complex for me to start doing?
Depends really what your goal is, I think. Like, you obviously want to be inspired by the thing that you're creating. There's no point in making like a to-do app if you're just not going to look at it and be like, oh, that's really cool. Build something that you're genuinely interested in.
Yes, exactly. I'm very jealous of my developers. I have two developers, one of them doing like more front end, but also a little bit of back end, quite like just building apps. And I have another developer who is doing very creative stuff. So WebGL, GLSL, 3JS. And I know they are like two different words, but they share stuff with me. They do stuff and I play around with it inside of Cursor. And I get really jealous of not being able to understand it in a deeper level because I genuinely want to start and build, like help them. I want to contribute and I find like a lot of joy in it. That's why I'm like playing a lot nowadays with JavaScript. A lot. I spend quite a lot of time in Cursor prompting, sometimes just going into the code and changing stuff, breaking things, getting in a call with my devs, and I'm like, "Oops, sorry, I broke things. Can you
I
help?"
broke our code base. Prod is down. There's some great platforms out there. Maybe Code Sandbox is a really good place for you to not even open VS Code or anything like that. Like, just create a boilerplate inside a Code Sandbox or import the project into Code Sandbox. I think you can do that now, surely.
But yeah, guys, it's very interesting. Like, I'm genuinely very happy with what AI is doing for learning code. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people are unhappy with what AI is doing in writing code, but if you want to learn code, it's just so much fun. If you get stuck, it's not if, it's when you get stuck, because you will get stuck. You have AI, you basically have a good engineer or like good enough engineer for this type of things to help you troubleshoot, because that was my issue. I started learning code probably 10 years ago, but I stopped because I would get stuck and I would, I don't know, get myself busy with something else. But now it's really hard to get stuck for too long. AI will help you to know like what are you doing wrong, maybe, especially if you are doing something simple, and then just continue learning.